On Osrc News at 7, Governor Aiyedatiwa touts Ondo's investment appeal, readiness to host the Global Entrepreneurship Festival. Ondo State prioritizes grassroots development through traditional institutions. President Tinubu urges acting CJN Kikeriekun to uphold judiciary independence. And from the foreign scene, hopes for ceasefire deal in Israel-Gaza war as UN Security Council meets on Middle East crisis. Thank you very much for joining us tonight on the news at 7 on Osrc television. I am Oyumi Ayinigbara. President Bola Tinubu has urged the acting Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Kudirat Kekereekun, to defend the judiciary's independence and remain loyal to the Nigerian Constitution. He also encouraged the CJN to exercise temperance and sobriety and discharging her duties, vowing to give prompt and adequate attention to the institution to realize its full potential. Tinubu gave the charge when he swore in Justice Kekereekun as the 23rd Acting Chief Justice of Nigeria at the Council Chamber of the State House, Abuja. The President, who returns to the country from France in the early hours of today, urged Kekereekun to be faithful and loyal to the Constitution of Nigeria. He promised that his administration will continue to provide appropriate support to improve the welfare and capacity of the judiciary, ease the administration of justice, and promote the rule of law in Nigeria. The ceremony was attended by the President Tinubu, Senate President Godswill Akpabio, the Chief of Staff to the President, Mr. Femi Gbajabiamila, the National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, and Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu of Lagos State. Also in attendance were the retired CJNs, Justice Olukayode Ariwola, and members of the National Judicial Council and the Nigerian Bar Association. Meanwhile, the Supreme Court has confirmed Senator Doyedere's election as the governor of Bayelsa State. In a decisive judgment delivered today, the Apex Court dismissed the appeal filed by Timi Persiva, the governorship candidate of the All Progressives Congress APC. Justice Garba Lawal ruled that the appeal lacked merit and constituted a gross abuse of the court's process. The Supreme Court's unanimous decision upholds the earlier rulings of both the Court of Appeal and the Election Petition Tribunal. This ruling solidifies Senator Doyedere's position as a duly elected governor of Bayelsa State. Ondo State's Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa has announced that Akure will host the Global Entrepreneurship Festival in November. The festival is expected to attract 215 investors from around the world. Governor Aiyedatiwa made the announcement during the official presentation of the festival license, emphasized the state's appeal as an investment destination due to its space, natural resources, and skilled workforce. The festival aims to drive growth and development in Ondo, with the governor expressing confidence in the state's readiness to host the event. Key stakeholders, including Special Advisor to the Governor on Entrepreneurship, Sami Smart Francis, and the Entrepreneurship Village Board Chairman and Global Investor, Dan Wukovitz, praised the festival potential to transform the state into an entrepreneurial hub, while highlighting the importance of collaboration for socio-economic progress. The event will feature various activities, including a boxing match commemorating the 50th anniversary of the Rumble in the Jungle. The present administration in Ondo State says it will always prioritize grassroots development through the traditional institutions. Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa at the presentation of instruments of appointment and staff of office to Ajanafa of Okiagbe, Oba Mufuluramsho Adegwiga Arasoin, said the people will continue to be the focal point of his administration. The governor, who congratulated the new monarch and people of the community, stressed the need for peace, unity for overall development of the state. Government House correspondent Wahab Ankoli has details of the event.
The arrival of Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa at the palace of Afa Ajana of Okeagbe for the official presentation of staff of office and instrument of appointment to the new monarch, Oba Mufolorunsho Adegboyega Arasoyin, elicited joy among inhabitants of the community. The Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Amindu Takuro, said the ministry places premium on the role of traditional institutions in grassroots development.
Our ministry is always ready to midwife the process of selecting, appointing, and installing new obas in any community in the state, in strict compliance with due process, which is devoid of any interference whatsoever.
In his message of goodwill, a prominent indigene of the town, Solomon Oladunni, appreciated the governor for his leadership qualities.
When our current governor was deputy governor, he was also the chairman of the committee that was set up by the state government to look into the activities of obas in the state and retrain them. And we are fortunate enough that Ajana of Okeagbe was recommended by his group and certified, approved by the State Executive Council and promoted to the rank of a first-class monarch.
Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa, who congratulated the new monarch, urged him to use his position to foster unity, peace, growth, and development in his domain. Aiyedatiwa recanted the process that led to the emergence of the new royal father and renewed his determination to develop the state, especially the grassroots, through traditional institutions.
The interests of the Afa Okeagbe community should be placed above every personal interest, and you should all see the emergence of the new king as the will of God for your town under these circumstances, just as I'm the will of God for Ondo State for now. These instruments should be employed to strengthen the peace and cohesion of your domain, and not to be used to hound or victimize perceived opponents or adversaries. The unity of your people is your strength, and this should be explored for the socio-economic upliftment of your community.
The governor, who restated his resolve to promote infrastructural development of the state, called on residents to join hands with his administration to make dividends of good governance available at all levels. High point of the event was the official presentation of the staff of office and instrument of appointment to the new monarch. Responding, Oba Arasoyin expressed his gratitude to the governor and pledged to work with the government towards harnessing the social, cultural, and economic potentials of the community.
We want to appreciate our governor for what he has done, because if he didn't support the process, we won't get it right. And we thank him for what he has done. And I'm promising the governor on behalf of the community that he should go and relax and see what the good people of Okeagbe will do during the election come November.
From Okeagbe, in Akoko Northwest Local Government area of Ondo State, Wahab Bankole, Osrc News.
You're still watching Osrc News at 7. After the break, federal government adopts One Health approach to address health issues in the country. Please, do rejoin us for this and more.
Ambition.
My G, for our ambition, we go hard.
We go day night till we make it.
Hard till we find that perfect beat.
The perfect beat, the one the world will put on repeat.
So we chase greatness in every moment, making every naira count.
We put out content after content till it's comment after comment. And with Glow by our side,
We have more to offer.
Because the MyG bundle comes with bonuses
Giving you way more data value and way more steez on IG, Snapchat, TikTok, WhatsApp, Glow TV, Audio Mac, and Boomplay
in one fly package.
Dial star 312 hash now and select My G bundle.
Glow Unlimited.
Thank you very much for rejoining us. You can watch us live on our website www.osrc.ng or follow us on Facebook at OSRC. Subscribe to our channel OSRC TV Ondo. The Ondo State Women's Support Group has organized Odatiwa Adelami Women's Summit in Idori local government area in a bid to boost women participation in the forthcoming governorship election in Ondo State. The special advisor to Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa on women mobilization, Bayo Aina, emphasized the importance of women's involvement in nation building, charging women to take up leadership roles. Joy Pius completes the story.
The Odatiwa Adelami Women's Summit, which took place in Idonre local government area, was put in place by Ondo State Women's Support Group to educate, mobilize and empower women of the area on the need to understand their roles in the electoral process and be equipped to actively engage in political activities. The convener of the summit, Bola Akindana, while decrying the low participation of women in politics, appreciated Governor Aiyedatiwa for women inclusiveness in his cabinet, calling for more support.
It is high time we begin to ask ourselves questions as to why women are neither elected nor appointed into sensitive positions in our dear country. Ahead of the November 16 governorship election, we must unite, speak with one voice, and come out in mass to propagate the gospel of Governor Aiyedatiwa.
Speaking on women in contemporary politics, its impact, challenges and possible solutions, the special advisor to the governor on women mobilization, Bayo Aina, stressed the importance of women's participation in politics and governance, highlighting the benefits attached.
What is our level of participation in the politics in Nigeria? We have a lot of factors that is hindering us. I will start with our traditional parochial state of Nigeria. Stigmatization that women suffer in course of pursuing their political career. Another factor that is working against us is general economic problem. These are the factors that are militating against women participation in politics. We are 2.3 million plus in this state. And the election is coming. I used to say it anywhere I go. If the women can bring their vote together, it's a bulk vote. It's enough for our governor to become the next governor. We want to charge us that we have the capacity. We have the numerical strength. Your PVC is your power. My PVC is my power.
The Idonre APC chairman, Olumide Adeoti, commended the women group for the initiative, urging them to continue with their advocacy.
It's a well-organized program, and this one will assist the program of the governor. That's the coming election. So this is the beginning of a campaign. So what the women are doing today, they have organized very well.
For the women, the Odatiwa Women's Summit has built their capacity to understand their roles in political participation for adequate representation. Joy Pius, Osrc News.
In health, the federal government is to adopt the One Health approach to address cholera, monkeypox, antimicrobial resistance, and other health issues in the country. The Director General Address Center for Disease Control and Prevention, Dr. Jide Idris said the One Health approach is critical to addressing health threats in the animal-human environment interface. As of August 11, Nigeria had recorded 39 confirmed cases of monkeypox and 0 deaths across 33 states and the Federal Capital Territory. Also, 5,951 suspected cholera cases and 176 deaths have been recorded across 36 states and the FCT. One Health is an approach to designing and implementing programs, policies, legislation, and research in which multiple sectors communicate and work together to achieve better public health outcomes. Dr. Jide Idris said the federal government has created an infection prevention and control technical working group in the context of AMR, which contains all the plans and various roles and responsibilities for the AMR. Now, the federal government has paid the tuition fees of 20,000 students directly to their institutions in the ongoing Nigerian Education Loan Fund (NELFund) scheme. The managing director and executive officer of NELFund, Akitunde Soya, said the fund had paid the tuition fees of 20,000 students in 6 universities, including the University of Ibadan, University of Benin, University of Maiduguri, University of Ilorin, and Bayero University, Kano. The implementation of the student loan scheme is President Bola Tinubu's flagship project in the education sector. The President introduced the fund when he signed the Access to Higher Education Act, which creates a legal framework for granting loans to indigent or low-income Nigerians to facilitate the payment of their fees in Nigerian tertiary institutions. Sawyer also disclosed that as of August 22, 2024, over 280,000 students have registered for the scheme, while about 256,000 have collected the application process. Meanwhile, the management of the Nigerian Education Loan Fund (NELFund) has confirmed a receipt of 50 billion naira from recovered proceeds of crime by Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC). NELFund's Director, Corporate Communications, Nigerian Education Loan Fund, Oseyemi Oluwatoyi, said EFCC had released the fund to its following directives from President Bola Tinubu. The release follows the directive of President Bola Tinubu on 4th August 2024, directing the EFCC to transfer the funds to NELFund to further boost the student loan program. According to Tinubu, the significant injection of funds represents a major milestone in the administration's commitment to bolstering access to education by providing financial support to students across Nigeria. Vice President Kashim Shettima has charged the Nigerian Armed Forces to remain vigilant and proactive in addressing security threats. He gave the charge at the graduation ceremony of Course 32 of the Nigerian Defense College, Abuja. Shettima, who represented President Tinubu, said the current administration is determined to make Nigeria safe for investment and economic prosperity. He emphasized the need for strategic leadership to address the marriage of security challenges in the country. The Vice President urged the participants to continue to uphold the value of patriotism, saying the federal government would look into the fundamental recommendations made by the participants in their overall report to implement them. A total of 111 participants took part in the course, with 19 foreign participants. Academic Staff Union of Secondary Schools in Ondo State says it is committed to working with the state government to deliver qualitative education. Chairman of the association, Tajuddin Balogun, while inaugurating the Phase 1 of the Union Building project in Akure, the state capital, assured the state government of continuous quality service delivery. Omorionla Umbiji has the detail. We'll bring you the reports in the course of the bulletin or in our subsequent bulletins. In a bid to break the barrier of backwardness and disunity in Nigeria, an initiative of General Overseer, Deeper Life Bible Church, Pastor William Skumuyi, Change Makers International, has been inaugurated in Ondo State. State Overseer of the ministry, Jacob Ashubiojo said the vision is to unite all for a common purpose to drive positive change and foster societal impact. Omorionla Ngbiji reports that the maiden edition of the initiative had earlier been inaugurated in River State.
It is a general belief that the world is often divided by common enemies, which are differences in beliefs, politics, tribes, and heritage, and are playing vital roles in setting the nation backward. To this end, General Overseer of Deeper Life Bible Church, Pastor Williams Kumuyi, came up with an interdenominational and non-religious movement called Changemakers International, aimed at reshaping moral standards across the country.
You're welcome, sir.
This gathering consists of religious leaders from different faiths, Christian, Muslim, and secular, from across the 18 local government areas of Ondo State to chart a common purpose. State Overseer of Deeper Life Bible Church, Jacob Ashubiojo, while hinting the gathering on the intention of the convener, said the vision is devoid of religious purpose, but of transformational process for a better society and a better human race. He challenged individuals, groups, organizations, and bodies to initiate and commence positive change process that will produce outstanding societal values and good governance.
The vision is to raise people with the mind and the understanding that every individual is important in the development of the nation and the world.
Religious leaders joined their voices expressing their readiness to work with a vision for the progress of the nation.
What we are doing here today is louder than a preaching of one single man. Why? All of us in our own little way, we are contributing to the change of our society.
We are appealing to each and every one of us. Let us love ourselves. Let us be one. The problem we are having now is that this is from Hausa, this is a Yoruba person, this is Igbo person. Let us bring it aside. Let's face it out. Let us see ourselves as one.
As Muslims in the mosque, he said we are ready to partner with any peace initiatives. We are ready to partner with togetherness. We are ready to partner with programs on life improvement.
Please, unity and love. Without this one, we are in danger in our own time. This is our time in Nigeria. My own time, your own time. We need to unite.
Such a personality as Pastor Kumuyi, who is already in his advanced 80s, to have come up with this idea, I think is something to be celebrated and to be embraced by all of us. I want to believe
we all have to sacrifice our time, ourselves, and not only sacrifice, but in love and in unity.
Inaugurating the initiative, Deputy Governor of Ondo State, Olayide Adelami, represented by Deputy Chief of Staff Ademola Falon, sought the support of all in making the nation habitable for all.
Individual contribution is what can make Nigeria progress, not that of some particular persons.
The convener of the initiative, Pastor Kumuyi, will pay a 6-day visit to Ondo State in October to flag off the Ondo State chapter of the initiative. Omorionla Ngbiji, Osrc News.
Candidates of the Labour Party in the 2023 presidential election, Peter Obi, has called on the Nigerian Police Force (NPF) to exercise caution in the way and manner with which it would handle the ongoing case against the leader of the Nigerian Labour Congress, Joe Ajaero. His call for restraint comes following the NPF's terrorism funding allegation against Ajaero and his subsequent invitation to the force headquarters in Abuja. Following Ajaero's invitation, the union has since threatened a nationwide strike should the police detain Ajaero. Obi said the allegations against the Labour leader by NPF were weighty and not clear and should be treated with caution. He said the NLC is an interlocutor of the federal government on various labour disputes and other national interest issues, ends without prejudice to due process. Mr. Ajeru represents an umbrella organization that should inform the authorities of their approach and modalities. A Chief Magistrate Court sitting in the Ikeja area of Lagos has convicted and discharged 6 men who were standing trial for breaching public peace during the 2020 EndSARS protests. The Joyinbo, Adigun Sadiq, Kendi, Shola, Salaudin Kamilu, Sadiq Husseini, and Aziz Isiaka had entered a plea bargain agreement and pleaded guilty to the charge of breaching public peace as brought against them by the Lagos State government. After reviewing the plea bargain agreement, Magistrate Bola Oshosami found the defendant guilty and convicted them of the offense. In place of sentencing, however, she cautioned and discharged them, noting that they had already spent almost 4 years in custody. The Nigeria Hydrological Services Agency, NIHSA, has issued a grave warning to states and communities along the river Niger, urging them to prepare for potential flooding as water levels rise alarmingly. This development stems from reports by the Niger Basin Authority in Niamey, Niger, which highlights the impact of upstream activities in Niger and Mali. In a statement, NIHSA's Director General Umar Mohammed said flood waters from these two countries are expected to steadily flow into Nigeria, particularly through Kebbi State. The agency also stressed that dam operators at Kanji and Jeba on the river Niger have been notified and are on high alert to manage any arising situation. The agency has also pledged to closely monitor the evolving flow situation and provide regular updates to the public. In the meantime, Nigeria is bracing for more devastating floods as the rainy season peaks. More than 120 people have been killed so far, and officials warn the loss of life and the destruction of infrastructure is increasing. Joy Pius has more.
A highway that has become a waterway, and a playground, farms that may never yield grain. Adamu Dan Masari took this same route to go to his 3 farms, and this is all he could salvage: a few bundles of millet. Not enough for his family, but it would do for a meal.
2 of the farms have been totally destroyed. On the 3rd, I was able to harvest what can feed my family today.
Community leaders say the flood this year are unprecedented.
All the farms, especially the rice farms, the guinea corn, everything gone. You can see our houses, everything gone. Personally, I'm an internally displaced person now.
Hundreds of thousands have been displaced, with tens of thousands of hectares of farms destroyed. Even the dead aren't spared the misery. This local cemetery is submerged. The floods have changed everything for many in Nigeria's Jigawa state. 27 of Nigeria's 36 states have suffered flooding this year, yet the rainy season is yet to peak, and dams have so far not opened their floodgates to release excess water. A worrying picture for officials.
We have September, October to come. The rain is much more in September than in August. So only God knows what the state will be when we reach that time.
The government says 110 kilometers of embankments have been constructed and 72 kilometers of the main river dredged, but the flooding continues to claim lives and property, diverting scarce government resources meant for development.
A lot of attention is being diverted to that area because you need to save that situation. So because of that, yes, of course, a lot of revenue will be lost. Government revenue will be lost. Not only that, a lot of extra expenditure will have to be incurred. So other work had to wait.
He says the state is bracing for more destruction when the rainy season peaks, which makes more misery and displacement for the local population. Joy Pius, OSRC News.
And and escalation of the war beyond Gaza's borders and the looming threats of
There is growing concern on the international stage amid faltering ceasefire talks that war will spread.
And with that, we conclude the news tonight. But before we go, a quick look at one of the top stories. We told you that Ondo State is set to welcome 215 investors at the Global Entrepreneurship Festival, slated for November this year. Governor Aiyedatiwa, while touting the state's investment appeal, expressed readiness to host the festival, which stakeholders say will transform Ondo into an entrepreneurial hub. And that's the news tonight. Thank you very much for your time. Good evening.